Is Ford really shutting down its dealerships? This move could transform how you buy cars. No more showrooms, just online orders and home delivery. Let's explore why Ford might make this change and what it means for you. So Ford shutting down its dealerships? That sounds like a massive change for one of the biggest car companies in the world, doesn't it? Think about it. Ford dealerships have been around for more than a century. These are places where families have bought their first cars, trunks, and even the iconic Mustang. Could all of that really disappear? Well, let's talk about why this isn't as far-fetched as it sounds. Ford has been hinting at big changes for a while now, and honestly, it all comes down to one thing: the future of how people buy cars. Let's face it, car dealerships haven't changed much in decades. You go in, walk around a lot, talk to a salesperson, and probably spend hours haggling over the price. It's a process that many people find frustrating, but here's the thing: the way people buy things is changing, and Ford knows it. Just look at how much the online shopping world has exploded. People love the convenience of buying things with a few clicks, whether it's clothes, electronics, or even groceries. And now, buying cars is becoming part of that trend. Companies like Tesla have shown us that people are willing to buy cars online without ever setting foot in a dealership. Sounds crazy, right? But it's happening, and Ford is paying attention. But let's rewind for a second. Why would Ford even consider such a drastic move? Well, there are a few reasons. First off, dealerships are expensive to maintain. Ford spends a ton of money keeping its dealerships running. Everything from inventory, staff, and real estate costs adds up. By shifting to a direct-to-consumer model similar to what Tesla does, Ford could cut a lot of these costs. No dealership means no overhead, and that could mean big savings for the company. But here's the catch: this isn't just about Ford saving money. The rise of electric vehicles, or EVs, is also playing a huge role in this. You see, EVs are changing how cars are sold and serviced. They have fewer moving parts compared to traditional gas cars, meaning they require less maintenance. So Ford might not need as many service centers if their fleet moves more toward electric. So if dealerships close, car buying could shift online, making the process faster. Instead of haggling in person, you'd order your car online and have it delivered. Test drives? They might go virtual with VR or 3D technology. Feels like the future, right? Of course, not everyone is sold on this idea. A lot of people still like the traditional dealership experience. They like seeing the car in person, getting a feel for it, and having a face-to-face chat with a salesperson. But Ford's shift towards direct sales might mean those days are coming to an end. So the big question is, are people ready for this change? Now let's talk about the dealership owners and workers. What happens to them if Ford goes ahead and shuts down its dealerships? Well, it's not looking great. Thousands of people are employed at Ford dealerships across the country. If those dealerships shut down, a lot of jobs could be at risk. It's not just about the cars, it's about the communities that depend on these businesses for their livelihoods. So, are dealerships doomed? Not necessarily. Some experts believe that even if Ford moves toward direct sales, they won't completely get rid of dealerships. Instead, they might keep a smaller number of service centers or experience hubs where people can still check out the latest models and take them for a spin. That way, Ford could maintain a local presence without the massive overhead of traditional dealerships. So when did this all begin? The shift away from dealerships isn't new. Tesla led the way with its direct-to-consumer model, and other automakers, including Ford, have been taking notice. In recent years, Ford has hinted at changing how it sells cars, especially with its focus on EVs. CEO Jim Farley has openly discussed moving away from the traditional dealership model. But here's something to keep in mind: this isn't a done deal just yet. Ford hasn't officially said they're shutting down all their dealerships. They're testing the waters, and they're likely watching how the market and consumers react to this idea. So it's not time to say goodbye to your local Ford dealer just yet, but it's clear the auto industry is moving in a new direction, and Ford doesn't want to be left behind. Before we wrap up, let's think about the pros and cons of Ford's potential move. On the one hand, cutting dealerships could lead to lower prices for consumers, faster service, and an easier car buying process. On the other hand, it could also mean losing that personal connection many buyers still want, and for dealership owners and workers, it could be a tough transition. So what do you think? Would you be on board with buying a car directly from Ford's website, or do you think this is a step too far? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates as we follow the story. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.